Good morning. You are tuned to 107.9 KFan, TexasRebelRadio.com, and Bandera 103.1 KEEP. And I'm Corey Cook with you here for the Twisted Rail for today until 3 o'clock. I'm your host. And coming up this hour, we're going to speak with Carl Wayne Meekins, who's out in Nashville, a singer-songwriter, country artist, with some songs we're going to play for you from him, and as well as a story from him about coming up in the music. And we'll also talk about G4V, that's Guitars for Vets, an organization that helps those injured military members, and talk about some of the treatment that goes through music for them through G4V. And that's all coming up with our guest Carl Wayne Meekins out of Nashville. Stay tuned. Kick off the sets, and before we speak with Carl, with a song from Carl, we got a few tunes from him that he's wrote and recorded recently. This is one called Song Sing You here on The Fan.
Day, got your feelings hurt, feels like you're the only team player within a bunch of haters at work. You can't wait to get home to your happy place. Oh, pour a glass of wine to help you unwind the day. Put your favorite record on, the one you dance to, that makes you come alive, put you in a good mood. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Oh, get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Don't worry about tomorrow, the trouble it might bring. Right now, girl, crank it up loud and let the sound drown the day. Put your favorite record on, the one you dance to, that makes you come alive, put you in a good mood. Get lost in the groove. Close your eyes and let it take you somewhere. Don't say a word, just let yourself go there. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Oh, yeah. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. To a beach in the Gulf of Mexico, or a cabin in the mountains in Colorado. Just let yourself go to a place you ain't never been before, but it feels so good, you leave wanting more. Put your favorite record on, the one you dance to, that makes you come alive, put you in a good mood. Get lost in the groove. Close your eyes and let it take you somewhere. Don't say a word, let yourself go there. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Yeah. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Yeah. Get lost in the groove and let the song sing you. Let the song sing you.
Music there from Carl Wayne Meekins, Song Sing You, here on The Fan at 107.9. How you doing, Carl? Got Carl on the phone here this morning.
Man, Man, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for spinning that. That's a song that it doesn't get the recognition it should have. And man, I hope it sounded as good to your listeners on their ears as it did me listening to it on the phone over here in Tennessee. Man, that was awesome.
Right on. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Corey.
How long ago did you record that song?
I actually recorded it probably a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, it was a couple of years ago, and it's actually a song about my wife. She's a school teacher here in town in Nashville, and she came home. She had a bad day, and I said, oh well, let me figure this thing out, and just kind of listen to her a little bit and talking and kind of get some imagery ideas and things. And then it's funny. I was watching a documentary on YouTube, and they were actually in Ireland doing some. They went back home to do some kind of stuff, and Bono gets up on there. He's on this. He says something just caught my ear, Corey. He said, "Man, sometimes you just got to let the song sing you." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's gold," you know.
Right.
And then so I was like, "Man, this is awesome here." So I got right up in my office and started churning it out. Came pretty quick actually, and then we went and recorded it, and I don't know if it, when we released it, I just don't know if it was not the right time for it. If my people on that end that take care of that kind of stuff for me just didn't believe in the song or push it or whatever. But it's one of my favorite songs. I love it. So thank you so much for playing that. You made my day today, brother. You didn't even know that, did you?
Right on. I did not know that. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the air here. I know you've been at it for quite a while, and so you said you're based in Nashville now.
Yes, sir. I've been here for 23 years. Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, I guess I know Nashville, too, like Texas, did get, it's quite a bit of snow and freezing rain. What are things looking like now with the snow?
Well, I was actually out this morning. I had to go get my morning run of coffee. That's how I get my day going. And it's the first time I've been out since Friday. So massive cabin fever, as you know that.
Yeah.
Main roads are great. Neighborhood roads are awful. I actually went into the coffee shop this morning, and man, I cannot believe, Corey, that they were allowed to open their doors without somebody at least shoveling, the sidewalks and putting salt out. It was a mess, man. And I'm like, this is just liability, crazy. But it'll get to a little over 30 degrees today. Things are melting. The good sunshine is doing its job. But man, I see us, and then that's it. I mean, we get to the high 30s, the high for this week is today, and it's going to be like 32 or 33, and then that's it for the rest of the week. It's only in the 20s, so that's the problem. And we had a bunch of ice here, and it's melting. But then tonight, as soon as the sun goes down, it's going to freeze again. So, but it's beautiful though, man. All the trees are crystallized, man. I don't know what it's like in Texas. I know you guys got some weather there too, but. That presents its own problems with limbs breaking things, but Golly Day, it sure is beautiful, man. It kind of wakes up that little kid in you,
Yeah, I hear you. We were out there yesterday knocking down icicles and just enjoying the unseasonal weather, or at least it should be seasonal here, but as you know, Texans too, we are not familiar with it very much, especially here in South Texas, but right just north of I-10, where we're located now here in Fredericksburg, where I'm broadcasting from. It's it's just right there on the cusp of being dangerous. So still some snow out there, still some ice out there, but roads should be clearing up because we're right above the freezing point too. I think we're right at 33 degrees right now here in Fredericksburg. So
that's great, man. Yeah. It's been a weird weather season since from the fall to now, and really, Corey, we're just kind of in the beginning of it if you think about it. We've got several months left of potential something going on, but yeah, I'm cabin fever. Started working on some new tunes. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
So I'm kind of have no choice.
Right.
So yeah. So that's good. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, in case you just joined us,
your listeners are all safe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're speaking with Carl Wayne Meekins, and you were born in Virginia. And when was it that you decided that music was going to be your occupation as an artist and guitar player, songwriter?
Occupation, probably my early 20s. I got through high school as far as trying to make a stab and a run at it, making any kind of income when it would be in my early 20s. I got the bug though when I was about 5 years old. I have a twin brother back in Virginia, man, and my dad was a drummer. We found out all this stuff out by accident. He kind of we didn't know anything about that in his life. And my brother and I end up sneaking around in the attic one day and find these awesome sparkling pink set of Slingerland drums. And, you know, I've never met a kid that doesn't like, you know, an electric guitar player or a drummer. And so we were, you know, pretty shocked about all this stuff and taken back. And we convinced him to pull him out of the attic and set him up. And then 40, he could play. And that changed everything for us as far as whatever was we were born with, whatever God gave us became awakened at that moment. And from then on, man, it's just I've been chasing it ever since. Yeah, man.
Right on. I understand too. You grew up just listening to a lot of records and a lot of different styles of music, which kind of was a part of your whole music making experiences to play, you know, Motown and pop music and, you know, different music outside of the country world, and then sort of deciding on country a little bit later. Tell me about that decision and sort of what led to that and being, I guess, exclusively a country artist.
Yeah, boy, that's a freaking great question, man. Coming up, my dad, man, we had everything in the house from a lot of the Motown stuff. We had, Donna Summer's her big hits. My first record actually was Barry Manilow. If you remember Barry Manilow, he's still rolling.
Absolutely, saw him live when I was a kid. So yeah.
Yeah, he's coming through Nashville soon, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should go see him because he might not make it around again. But I Write the Songs was my first record that I actually owned. And then, but man, we were playing Tom Jones. We were playing Queens. I remember rolling around the area with my dad's car, listening to music on an 8-track. And then I remember Queen and I Want to Ride, you know, Bicycle and Fat Bottom Girl. And here I am, this young kid going, you know, Bottom Girl, you make the rockin' world go round. I mean, not something that a kid my age should be singing, you know?
Right.
And I mean it, man. But what it did do is it opened my. I look back now. Now, when you're going through it, you know this. When you're going through life, you don't realize what's going on. But looking back now, I'm like, man, I was introduced to so many different genres of music back then, all played on vinyl, and then they had this Hawken stereo console that looked like a piece of, probably the size of a love seat sofa. You know, piece of furniture basically that just had probably 15-inch woofers in it. And then that's when I started realizing after you could crank it up that, man, you can feel music, you know, and I'm like, golly day, this is, I would sit in a rocking chair, Corey, for hours. I'm not kidding you, hours, just listening to repetitive music. And then if I found something that I loved, and what I found myself, you know, kind of gravitating to at a very young age, which I thought now is kind of weird, is, you know, you had to hit on the record, but I would find a deep cut and really, really enjoy it. And I'm like, man, this is the single, you know?
Right.
And anyway, so I would just listen to it over and over and over again and just, you know, I thought every kid in America did the same thing that I did. You know, now I realize now that I'm, you know, beyond that's not the case. And, you know, so, but that turned into, you know, I just got a feel of everything. Van Halen was my first concert, 1984 tour. That was the one with the baby on the cigarette, the baby smoking a cigarette on the album jacket.
Yeah, Jump.
So that Jump was a big. I mean, that record was loaded with hits. And so anyway, you know, that was my first live concert, and I was, oh my gosh, David Lee Roth walked out on stage, Corey and I about came apart, and, then I was introduced to the frontman role. You know, I was like, okay, there's something going on. This guy's an entertainer. This guy's there's something different about this guy. He's not just a musician or a singer. This guy is captivating. He commands the stage, and started kind of going in that direction. I was 12 years old then. And then a lot of garage bands, a lot of rock and roll stuff that I cut my teeth on. It's kind of, I remember the first song, I was just reminiscing the other day, the first song that we played, first couple of songs was You Really Got Me, which is an old Kinks song.
Yeah.
But Van Halen covered it, and we did that one, very simple song. And then The Summer of '69, which is a classic by Bryan Adams. That was the first couple of songs that we learned how to play live. And then as I got older and started developing, I was basically at that point just a singer, trying to capture the eyes of all the girls in school, you know, kind of thing, and didn't really have any interest or any bug at all about songwriting.
Right.
And then that just kind of came later in my teens and my early 20s. And then as I started developing as a writer, I'm like, man, you know, I'm not I'm more of a storyteller writer than a pop or a rock and roll hook writer kind of thing. And my best friend back home, Chris Falk, he actually came home one day. We were living together in a little mobile home trailer. I think we were 20 years old. He came home with a cassette tape, and he said, "You listen to this. This might change your life." And it was Alan Jackson's Chattahoochee. And then I just, did a deep dive into that whole cassette, and I was like, okay, man, there's something different here. And that's what introduced me, Corey, to 90s country music. And, of course, you and I both know that changed everything for that genre. Became a huge Garth fan, and then, Clint Black, all the great songs that came out of the 90s. And still today, the show, when I go out and play, most of my shows are, if I'm not doing my originals, are going to be 90s country. You just can't beat it, and I realized then, okay, there's my story platform right there. So then I dove hard in it, and then came to Nashville in 2000. I think it was 1999 or 2000. I think it was 99. Was able to come to Nashville and cut my first record, and got introduced. Then I started figuring out how the publishing world works and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, man, I haven't looked back since. It's kind of the genre that I found a home in. I will say this: the older I get, the more I tend to want to lean back to my rock and roll roots, as far as just different ways of singing a song, different approaches to it. It kind of keeps my juices rolling, something new. I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over again, kind of thing. And then as I develop as a guitar player, it's always been kind of chopping wood for me. Now I'm finding myself wanting to play a little more lead, and I've never, ever thought in my life that I would get to that point on the guitar. And just goes to show you that you're never too old to learn something new. And I'm living that. And that's a wonderful thing. It keeps me going,
Right on.
So,
yeah. And I understand
it was a long-winded answer on a short question.
Well, no, I was gonna add to it because I know you mentioned, the 90s sound and country, and also you mentioned Garth. And I was thinking about, I read an interview with you talking about Mike Chapman, who was one of the great session 100%. Bassists, and how he was a big part of your growth in that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny you say Mike. Mike's gone on now. He passed almost 10 years ago, and man, he changed my life. And he was put in my life. I'm a believer, so I know God's got his thumbprint everywhere. And at the time you're walking through it, you don't realize it. But remember, the first album I told you about was like in '99 or something like that. Well, Mike played on that record.
Oh, really? Okay.
And well, man, it was ridiculous. And I didn't, man, Corey, at the time, I just wish, man, I just wish I could have taken more time to sit back and really realize at that time what I had as far as players. But at that time, I was the kid that came into town, and my head was just big, and everybody back home was saying, "Man, you're the greatest," and all that crap. And now that I look back, I'm like, that is not the way you want to be. No humbleness at all, no humility, but man, we had Mike on bass, we had Milton Sledge, which was Garth's drummer in the studio. We had several sidemen. Terry McMillan. Terry's going on now. One of the best freaking harmonica players in the world. He's passed on. All these guys were there. They're just having a blast working on my stuff. I mean, they didn't have any clue who I was, kind of thing. But they were still putting their heart into everything. But then after that, when I actually moved to town, I saw Mike out at something we were doing and recognized him, and of course he was a great A session cat, meaning that he gets the first call if anybody's cutting, kind of thing. And
yeah, I
said, man, I don't know if you remember me, but we did some work. We did a session years ago, and he said he did, but I don't know if he did or not. Anyway, that
right.
that meeting turned into him calling me, and then man, we just became really, really good friends, and then started working together, and then got into Garth's camp a little bit. Chris Lucender, which is Garth's lead player in the studio, he became Mike was my band leader actually when we were going out, and then when Mike passed, Chris took over, and then Garth exploded again. He kind of did a run of shows and took everybody on the road with him. But yeah, it's crazy. And now of late, the other crazy thing that's happened to my life in the last probably 5 or 6 years is Byron Gallimore and I have become really, really good friends. And Byron discovered Tim McGraw, Jody Messina. And so I have, I try to get together with him for breakfast at least once a month, and real close to the family. But him and Tim are still cutting. I mean, I kind of get the inside scoop of what's going on, as much as they'll allow me to know, you know. But you just, I mean, he's from, Tim, we all know Tim and how he came up in the 90s and the early 2000s and all. And man, Corey, if you took music aside and kind of, it's unbelievable. I mean, I came here 20-some years ago, and if somebody were to tell me that you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna meet this person, you're gonna become friends with this guy, I'm like, no way, man, that's not gonna happen, kind of thing. And here we are, and it's happened. And man, when Mike Chapman passed, I had the honor of speaking at his service, Celebration of Life service, and Garth and Tricia were there. That was a very weird experience, because you've got the king of country there, other than George Strait, and then you're trying to honor your friend too. It's weird, kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
But it was a great humbling experience for me. Mike was awesome. He would challenge me. He wasn't a yes man. In other words, I would bring in some songs and for him to get behind it and produce it, because he did produce a few songs on us, and he's like, no, man, I mean, you need to go back and you need to revisit this. It's just not right. And I'm like, dang, I don't want to rewrite this song, Mike, but then I would hunker down and it would happen, and then come to find out he was right, kind of thing. So,
right.
Yeah, I've had to eat a lot of humble pie being here at Corey.
That's what it's all about.
Some years I've been here.
That's what it's all about.
Oh gosh, man, and it is, man, and it is so hard it's so hard. I have a song called "A Color of Lonely" that you probably have dabbled on, or at least seen it when you're going through looking for songs on my stuff. And I wrote that with John Schweers. John Schweers was from the 70s and 80s world. He wrote Daydreams About Night Things for Millsap, and had some Charlie Pride cuts. He wrote Born Country for Alabama. I Left Something Turned On at Home, Trace Atkins, and he's going on now. He's passed away, but my time with him was like, if you can imagine going in and knowing you're going to be writing with Simon Cowell from American Idol, and it's going to be brutal.
Right.
It was like that. And John told me when I first came to town, I was just a punk, and he's like, you're not going to become a great writer. And I came to this town thinking I could write a hit. And he said, you're not going to become a great writer until you've been in this town and surround yourself with massive talent. It's going to take you 10 years. And I'm like, 10 years? I don't have 10 days,
Right.
And it's amazing, Corey, how fast 10 years goes by. But you know what? That cat, man, he nailed it. I mean, I started realizing that, man, I didn't start really developing as a writer until I was in this town for several years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think you and I both have nailed it. It's humility, it's humbleness. And being humble is one of the hardest things a human being can do, especially a man when full of pride.
Yeah.
But once you get there, it's it's a good place to be, right?
Right on. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you about G4V, Guitars for Vets. I know it's an organization that you're a part of. Did you develop that organization, or you're somebody who supports it?
That's a nationwide program set up for the veterans. Guitars for Vets. The V is Vets. And several years ago, we started giving guitars away. Part of my story is somebody gave me a guitar when I was a young kid, and said, "Hey man, if you learn how to play it, it might change your life and get you going somewhere." And it did. It brought me from Chesapeake, Virginia to Nashville. And I just always told myself after a battle with COVID, where I almost lost my life, I'm like, man, Lord, I've got a second chance in life. I just want to, golly day, I want to do what I believe I'm put on this earth to do, and that's evoke emotions in people and entertain them. And daggone it, if I can give somebody a chance like I had, whatever that is, giving a guitar away or whatever it may be, let's do it. So we started giving guitars away at our shows, and that morphed into, it seemed like most of the time the recipients were veterans from all ages. And I'm like, man, just got me thinking, you know, and I came from a veteran town. Chesapeake, Virginia is centered, it's right next to Norfolk, Virginia, which is the home of the Atlantic Fleet for the Navy. So you can imagine, I grew up in a military town, basically, so I knew the life of the military, friends that would, you know, we would become best friends, and all of a sudden they would, you know, parents would get a different port and they'd have to move off. It was just awful. You lost everybody. You lost your best friend, their family, and everything. And so I know also, you know, kind of having a deep think on my end. I'm like, okay, what does this look like for me on giving guitars away and getting involved in some kind of a veterans organization? Because I know as a civilian what a guitar has done for me in my life as far as, you know, I've had some dark times and dark seasons. I've had some great seasons in life, and I've been able to express my feelings through my guitar and singing. Can you imagine what it could do for somebody struggling with maybe PTSD?
Yeah.
And I know I've been involved in music therapy, and I've gone into nursing facilities and assisted living facilities that work with Alzheimer's and dementia. Corey, I've seen what music does to people that haven't showed any emotion in a long time, and you go in there and just play them a song, and it may not be a song that they know, but man, they hear the music, and there's just something there that makes them come alive. And so I'm like, man, maybe I'm on to something here. And then that man, my PR guy out of Texas, he's actually, I don't know how close he is to you guys, but he's out of Texas, and Barry, and I'm like, Barry, I really want to get involved with some veteran organizations and see what's out there. He found G for Vets, G4V. It's hard for me to say that.
Uh-huh.
And then we started going around the United States. They actually have a killer program that veterans can apply to get in. And if they get in there, they get 10 weeks of guitar lessons for free. Complete beginner. They don't have to know anything about the guitar. I think in that 10 weeks, they're to learn maybe one of the favorite songs they want to be able to play on the guitar. After 10 weeks, they graduate. When they graduate, they're given a free guitar to take on with them, and then do what they want to with it. And then one thing that I realized that happened by going and visiting with them is that the graduates can then get together once a week, once every couple of weeks, and have a jam session. So all the graduates that have gone through, or new graduates or whatever, they all get together, maybe at a coffee shop or something somewhere. Could be, you know, 2 people, could be 10 people, and they all just have like a jam session. But what I realized there, Corey, is that's created community now, right? So these vets that could be lonely are now going out, and they're actually developing friendships with other folks, and the common bond is beautiful. It's music, right?
Yeah.
So we became, recently, we just got an ambassadorship with them because I love it so much that it's like, okay, I don't know how I can help these people, but I want to be a part of it. So they allowed me to be an ambassador. So now we're kind of in the off season now, but when spring hits, we'll go, we'll go into town, and we'll try to time it right when they're having a graduation. We'll go and put a little concert on for them, kind of thing, and give guitars away. That's what we do. So.
All right. And I wanted to mention, too, that if you go to the website, Guitars for Vets, that's 4 is in the number, vets.org, you can check out some of the chapters, find a chapter, contact a local chapter coordinator. I know there's one here in San Antonio, and quite a few in Austin, and maybe some in other parts of Texas, too. But you got them all over the country, but I just wanted to mention the Texas ones, too. People can check that out. I think it sounds like an excellent program, whether it's for the music therapy or just to give someone who's, been through it, a new light or a new idea, maybe something that they can enjoy and take on and develop that talent. And like you said, it's for those injured, it can certainly be a balm of sorts and something for their for recovery.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then the community aspect of it too is so important that we don't isolate ourselves, even if we're not a veteran.
Right.
It's just not good for a human being to be alone.
Yeah.
And I've just seen an amazing work in this community of veterans, and man, I just would my idea, my goal would be to travel the United States, because you have like in San Antonio and Austin and all that. Those are going to be bigger chapters. But you also have these smaller towns that,
Oh yeah.
golly day, nobody wants to go out there. I'll go. I'll go out there and blow the freaking roof off of what we call the Moose Lodge. Come
there
on
you
out
go.
here.
Come on. Let's go. Hit the nursing home. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, man. I mean, what you nailed it. We did a Christmas pop-up thing this last Christmas when we went out one Saturday and got my band together, got on a bus, man, and we just started going to different places, and we ended up one of the places we ended up was an assisted living place, and it was so much fun, Corey. Those ladies in there, man. You just want to get their story, because they're so it's awesome kind of thing, and it's just that's just living good life, man. When if they can't get out, but you can go to them, daggone it, come on, let's go.
Right. So before we go, I want to roll on this tune Pebble and talk about it. But first, I just wanted to ask you, what you're up to now, and where people can find your music.
The music is easy to find. CarlWayneMeekins.com is our website, and then I'm on every listening social platform. You can find music. If you can stream it, we're there. I would love to get some new folks out your way, getting onto our stuff. Facebook, Carl Wayne Meekins, Instagram, Carl Wayne Meekins, same thing. Would love to hear from your listeners out there just to say, hey, I heard you on Corey's show and want to connect with you. Maybe when I get out that way, we can see each other face to face kind of thing.
Yeah.
Goals for 2026. I'm passionate. I want to play the Grand Ole Opry. I've been wanting to do that. I've had many I wouldn't say appearances. I've been backstage and on that stage many times with different functions and things, but I've never played it. And I'm like, man, that would be a massive bucket list for me. So that's on the radar for 2026. We're going to try to do that, and then would definitely love to get out more in the country and do some more playing, give some more guitars away, and just kind of figure all that out. And my plan is to release more music this year for sure. We've got the music ready to go, just waiting on the timing and how that's going to work out and all that good stuff, man. So yeah, just trying to keep the hammer down and the needle moving forward.
Right on. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Carl, man. It's been a pleasure. Carl Wayne Meekins, our guest here on K-Fan and in Nashville now, and bringing us some music too. We were talking about the Guitars for Vets program. I know. I guess this is an anthem for the guitar giveaway, this tune called Pebble. Yes. But it's it's got a lot of meaning to it. So tell us a little bit about this song.
Yeah, I wrote it from exactly how you just said it. I mean, it's pretty much autobiographical. I wrote it for me and my point of view from my life as a kid and where I'm at now, and then what the simple power of playing it forward can do. We don't need to throw a massive boulder in the ocean to make a ripple effect. You can take one small little tiny pebble and throw it in a pond, and it'll that ripple effect. You can touch somebody's life like mine was touched, and then that person touches that life, that person touches that other life, and you can actually do some good in this world. And that's kind of the whole thing. And then we couple that with the the guitars and the veterans and things of that nature, and we're just kind of playing it forward, throwing a pebble in a pond, man. And a great real life example that's unfolding right underneath of you and me right now is you're throwing a pebble for me, having me on air today, and I really appreciate that.
Right on.
You never know what that ripple effect's going to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I thank you for that, Corey.
Well, thank you. Thanks for joining us and sharing that with us and inspiring our listeners and. Being someone who's out there making it happen, and I want to mention too, doing it in the capital of what you're all about, which is Nashville, and able to share that with our listeners too. So thanks again, Carl.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Corey. Have a good day, man. I appreciate you. Y'all stay warm out there, Texas. I appreciate you, man.
Right on. Appreciate you, Carl. And this is Pebble from Carl Wayne Meekins here on The Fan.
Right. Let's get it.
Was a troubled kid from a broken home. He never amounted to much, no, he's better left alone. But that boy had dreams locked deep inside, and if given the keys, they might come alive when you throw a pebble out in the cause a ripple that goes on and on and on, and it don't take much, a little toss will do. So go start a ripple, throw your pebble in the pond. A teacher saw potential, gave him an old guitar, and he said, if you learn how to play this, boy, it might take you far. Then he taught him how to sing, how to write his life out on those 6 strings. It didn't take long, and that boy was gone. When you throw a pebble out in the pond, you cause a ripple that goes on and on and on, and it don't take much, a little toss will do. So go start a ripple, throw your pebble in the pond. You say you want to change the world, want to do some good, I think we all should. A little girl is sick, fighting for her life. Mom and daddy are scared, and the bills are stacking high. But that boy's in town tonight, playing to a packed out house, that's right. All the money from the tickets sold are gonna help that little girl's folks. When you throw